What's up, reptile fans? Dave Palumbo here from Muscle Serpents Daily, and today we're going to be shipping out some really cool snakes. Some Super Hurricane, Super Enchi, Hypo, Het Rainbow stuff, and I'm so psyched about the Rainbow project, and you've seen my stuff that I hashed out earlier this season. You haven't seen some updates from it recently, so I'm going to show you the two snakes I'm sending out, which are 66% Het Rainbow, but they're amazing anyway. And then I also have the visuals that I'm going to show you how they've been developing from both clutches, because I have some visuals from one clutch and then a different clutch, which was the same father, different mother. We have another rainbow that I produced from that one. So I want you to see the contrast between the different morphing combinations that go together. This rainbow project, I'm telling you, is going to be blown off the hook. When you see these combinations, how they've been developing with this Hurricane and Enchi gene in there, you're just going to flip out. I'm so excited about it. Let's take a look. All right, this guy is going out. This is what I believe to be a Super Hurricane, Super Enchi, Hypo, 66% Het Rainbow. Obviously the Hurricane is possible Super Hurricane, but I'm almost pretty sure it's Super Hurricane. And it's possible Super Hypo, it's possible Super Enchi, but it looks pretty Enchi-ish too to me. But I would tend to be Super Hurricane, Enchi, Hypo, 66% Het Rainbow. Rainbow, as far as I know, doesn't really have any markers, so it's kind of hard for me to predict that, obviously. But this is a powerhouse guy, regardless if we hit the rainbow or not on this one. And I have a very lucky customer who's picking this up, and well, I'm shipping him out actually. And we have his sister who's going to go along with it. But you look at that head; it's a really nice looking head. Obviously, that's a definite Hypo head, and it looks like a Super Hurricane head to me too. It almost looks blackhead to me, if you look at it. And that's that Hurricane influence for sure. And then of course you got your little double bicep poses, I like to call them, little Hurricane swirls. Really nice looking snake. All right, that was the male. This is the female now. Once again, same genetics, I'm pretty sure. It's obviously Hypo. I believe it to be Super Hurricane. It's that extreme Hurricane patterning. That blackish head leading into right into this neck band. It's Enchi, possible Super Enchi, and it's 66% Het Rainbow. And just a really nice representation of the Hurricane gene. And when you get that extreme swirling, that's a good chance that it's Super Hurricane. I'm pretty sure this is a Super Hurricane, just like the other one was. The parents were both Enchi, Hypo Hurricanes that were both 100% Het Rainbow. We didn't hit the rainbow with these guys. I'll show you the rainbows we did hit and how they're growing and maturing. But these are 66%ers. So there's a good shot that this could prove out this pair. And hopefully it does for my good customer who bought this. And I just love the Hurricane morph. I love it with Hypo, like it looks here. I mean, this is just Hypo and Hurricane work really well together because Hurricane is so dark. And the Hypo just kind of like reduces that darkness a little bit. The Super Hurricane is so extreme, you get a lot of this. I love complex patterning on an animal, especially in an interesting way it's presented in Hurricane. And then of course, if you can turn this thing purple with Hurricane, with Rainbow, you can't lose. And here is the mother load. This is the pinnacle of pinnacles. This is your what we call possible Super Hurricane, possible Super Enchi. I think they are Super Enchi and Super Hurricane. Definitely Hypo, and this is Rainbow. I mean, this guy, this male, is getting crazier as it's growing. It's getting, look at those yellows in its head. It didn't have this. So it's got these purples and yellows, and look at the Hurricane swirls. They're so extreme, and this blushing in here. This is an awesome looking snake. I am in love with this snake. This combination that I envisioned when I first set out onto this project years ago, I couldn't have envisioned what this thing was going to look like. And you know what? Now that I see what it looks like now compared to when it was born, I think it looked like crap when it was born. And I thought it looked pretty impressive then. Look at those hurricane swirls. That hurricane with the rainbow works tremendously. And of course, Enchi just enhances everything. And Hypo reduces any of the super darks in there. And there's so much contrast in the snake between the orange head and the hurricane swirls. And I don't even know if the camera's picking them up. And all these purples that are kind of going through the middle of all these yellows and oranges. Look, I may be biased because I made it, but this is one of the best looking ball python combinations I think I've ever seen. I have to give it, I have to give it a name. I don't even know what to call it. I think I should name it because it's that good. I'll take your suggestions in the comments there. If anyone has a good name for this combination, Super Hurricane, Super Enchi, Hypo, Rainbow. It's like the Picasso of ball pythons. Really amazing. I would save that for a clown. This is not a clown. Imagine this in clown. Imagine put clown in this. I know if Justin bought this snake, he would immediately breed it to everything clown he had. Yeah, he'd have, and in 2 years he'd probably have a clown version of this. But really, really nice. Like, I wanted you guys to take a look at this because I hadn't looked at this in a week or so. I've been just cleaning and not really paying attention, and wow, I am impressed myself. Seriously, this really came out nicer than I expected, and hopefully he'll be breeding by next year, this guy. Now, just as a contrast, this snake is not Hypo. This is from a different clutch. This is another rainbow. This is probably a Super Enchi Disco. So Disco is kind of like fire. And this is rainbow. Obviously it's not Hypo. So you're gonna have a little bit more darkness in it. And this is Hurricane. This is definitely not Super Hurricane because both parents are not Hurricane. So this is the single copy Hurricane. So you can see the difference. Okay, right off the bat, it's not as light because it's not Hypo. You're gonna have a lot less purples in there because it's not as dark because it's not Super Hurricane. And the Disco, obviously, which is like fire, kind of yellows things, makes things a lot brighter. So it's got a lot more brightness, okay? It's got a lot more interesting intricacies in its pattern, except the hurricane swirls are not as extreme because it's not a super. But it's different, but it's really cool because it has different nuances to it, and that was the thing I wanted to hit on. I didn't want to try to have everything look exactly the same, so this little boy will be bred to a different set of possible, females next year when he's old enough to breed, and we'll get a whole different set of possibilities. Like, think about it. If this is Disco, if we breed it to something fire, we can produce Disco Inferno, Hurricanes, and then we can go from there and try to, make some more cool stuff. The possibilities are endless, when you have this. And obviously the Hurricane, if I breed it to something Hurricane, we can produce Super Hurricane versions that are het Rainbow. Maybe we even cross it to the female from the other litter that's Visual Hurricane. I don't know. There's so much potential here that I have to kind of think about it, and I have plenty of time to think about it because this guy's not going to breed this year, obviously. But put on nice size. I'm just feeding him hoppers at this point. I'm not trying to overstuff him. I'm not going to get him up to size this year anyway, so there's no sense in rushing him. I'm just kind of enjoying him. I don't want to lose him. I lost the original father that was my Visual Rainbow, and I don't want to do that. So luckily we have a bunch of males I produced, and I'm going to probably hold back all of them. I'm only selling one, and he's on Morph Market right now if you guys are interested. And he's from the other litter. He looks spectacular too, so trust me, there's a lot of potential with this project. This rainbow gene is amazing. It's way better than banana, and it doesn't have any speckling, and it doesn't have any issues with changing and losing its luster as it gets older. They seem to get better as they get older, these rainbows, and that's to me, that's just a better banana. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the update on the Rainbow project. There's so much still to be done with this project, and you know what? I only just tipped the iceberg in this thing, and you know what the funny thing is? I hit some really good odds this year. Obviously, I produced some really, really nice rainbow combinations in the first generation. So who knows what's going to happen this coming season? Hopefully we'll hit more, produce some cool hets, next year when those males those visual males get up to size. Once again, the ceiling is just the limit of your imagination, and that's really what it comes down to. What could you envision? What could you imagine? Think about what you want to create, put the stuff together, and see if you can do it. And if you do, you've become your own Picasso, your own artist, and that's what this is about. It's about creating new stuff that never existed before, or stuff that maybe you just like that has existed, and there's nothing wrong with that either. So use your imaginations and see what you can do. Take what I did, and if you have any ideas you want to tell me, hey, say Dave, throw this with this, I'm open to it, because I believe that when we collect our ideas and put them together, we create things that are much greater than just what we can do ourselves. All right, guys, hope you're having a great Monday. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, hit the like button. We'll see you back tomorrow morning.